On day 14 of reading the book of Revelation, I have had my life changed once I surrendered to God and recognized that I cannot do anything without Him and how much I need Him in my life. And after that, I decided to read the Bible, and getting to know God has been the most amazing adventure and the most wonderful thing I have done for my life. It's just spreading into every corner. I'm not saying it's easy or that your life is easier when you read the Bible, but it doesn't. It becomes a little more complicated, and to be honest, but all of a sudden you find this peace because you are with God and you know that His plan is the best plan, and that you know that you're here to serve His purpose for your life here. So it's a really kind of odd thing to explain, but just telling you it's really worth it. But in the book of Revelation, last year I was reading, and chapter 1, verse 3 says, "Blessed is the one who reads aloud the words of this prophecy, and blessed are those who hear it and take heart what is written in it, because the time is near." So hey, you and me, we're here, we're reading this, we're receiving God's blessings, and His promises are always true, and they always, always, always come true. So He is the most patient, most loving, most graceful, righteous. Justice is only through Him, and He is just steadfast in everything that He says. So here we go, chapter 14. "Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with Him 144,000 who had His name and His Father's name written on their foreheads. And I heard a sound from heaven like the roar of rushing waters and like a loud peal of thunder. The sound I heard was like that of harpists playing their harps. And they sang a new song before the throne and before the four living creatures and the elders. No one could learn the song except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth. These are those who did not defile themselves with women, for they remained virgins. They follow the Lamb wherever He goes. They were purchased from among mankind and offered as first fruits to God and the Lamb. No lie was found in their mouths. They are blameless." The three angels. Then I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, "Fear God and give Him glory, because the hour of His judgment has come. Worship Him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water." A second angel followed and said, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries." A third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, "If anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its marks on their forehead or on their hand, they too will drink the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of His wrath. They will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever. There will be no rest, day or night, for those who worship the beast and its image, or for anyone who receives the mark of its name. This calls for patient endurance on the part of the people of God, who keep His commands and remain faithful to Jesus. Then I heard a voice from heaven say, 'Write this: Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes,' says the Spirit, 'they will rest from their labor, for their deeds will follow them.' I looked, and there before me was a white cloud, and seated on the cloud was one like a son of man, with a crown of gold on his head and a sharp sickle in his hand. Then another angel came out of the temple and called in a loud voice to him who was sitting on the cloud, 'Take your sickle and reap, because the time to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe.' So he who was seated on the cloud swung his sickle over the earth, and the earth was harvested. Another angel came out of the temple in heaven, and he too had a sharp sickle. Still another angel, who had a charge of fire, came from the altar and called in a loud voice to him who had the sharp sickle, 'Take your sharp sickle and gather the clusters of grapes from the earth's vines, because its grapes are ripe.' The angel swung his sickle on the earth, gathered his grapes, and threw them into the great winepress of God's wrath. They were trampled in the winepress outside the city, and blood flowed out of the press, rising as high as a horse's bridles for a distance of 1,600 stadia. Have you ever actually read what the measurements in the Bible are? I've never paid that much attention to it. Maybe I'll do that next time. But there was something on here I wanted to go back here. And the smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever. There will be no rest, day or night, for those who worship the beast and its image, or for anyone who receives the mark of its name. I think that's a great sort of, just stood out to me because I just am getting over being sick, and I recognize that there hasn't been a lot of years in the past where I've allowed my body to just rest. And it's not for a lack of trying or doing. It's just that as I grow in my relationship with God, I feel like I surrender more and more to Him, and I find more peace in it. And it's been really amazing to actually feel like I wasn't striving through being sick, needing to be somewhere else. So it was a really kind of a cool experience. But it is so true. If you're not finding rest, if you're not finding peace, you are worshiping something other than our Lord God. And so I encourage you to, if you're not finding rest, give it to God, surrender to God. Your nervous system will reset and you will find rest. So you have a blessed day. We'll come back with day 16 tomorrow. Is that right? I think so. No, I don't know. We're going to get to it, and we're reading through. And thank you so much for being here. Have a blessed day. See you next time. If I can close it.